If you're the kind of person that needs to see the proof before they can believe in something, then this video is for you. No, I mean it. I mean it. Like, it came to you. No, seriously, you've got mail.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you going to give us a break?
This video goes out to all my skeptics in the crowd. All the people that don't believe that a mental diet is going to help them achieve anything. You don't believe in positive thinking. You don't believe that controlling your thoughts can change your reality. You think that all of this is just a bunch of self-help crap that no one really needs and no one really benefits from. And if it were that easy, more people would do it. I hear you. I totally hear you and I feel you. While I don't really care about proving you wrong, at the same time, I kind of do. You know why? Because I used to be exactly like you. I used to think exactly like you. And changing my beliefs, changing my approach to the matter has changed my entire life. And I would never, ever go back. Like, ever. Why should you believe me? Why should you listen to me? Here's the thing. I actually come from a purely scientific background. I've studied applied mathematics and statistical analysis, like programming, big data. You get it. I'm not bragging. Do you understand what it means? I did not study solving hard equations. I studied proving why these hard equations work the way they do. Like, I kid you not, we had to prove why 1 plus 0 equals 1. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, but why? This theorem works in this way. Okay, but why? Prove it to me. Show me why, and then I'll believe you. Guys, this is all I was learning how to do for 5 years. No wonder I used to be science over everything else. No wonder I had to see proof before I could believe in anything. It was always logic before feelings. Always the cold, hard facts before anything else. Where is the data? Where are the facts? Show me the facts. Then I'll believe you. Left brain over right brain. From one skeptic to another. Here are the facts. As a reminder, practicing a mental diet means to practice catching and rejecting the negative thoughts and only entertaining the positive ones. The more you do that, the happier you feel and the better your life becomes, the easier it becomes for you to achieve your objectives. That's all very nice, Maria. Thank you very much. Why does it actually work? Well, here's the deal. First things first. Very similar to food, because that's where the mental diet concept is inspired from. When you go on a food diet, you optimize the input you give your body. So that affects the way your body performs, its functions. And that affects the output, right? How it looks like, how it feels like, how much energy you have, blah, 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 blah. The same concept applies to your mental diet. You optimize the sort of input you feed your brain with, which in turn affects the way your brain functions. Input, output. There's no magic here. We're not discussing rocket science. All very clear up to here. I think you're all with me. Now let's talk neuroscience. I'm not a neuroscientist, obviously, but maybe it's exactly why I should be doing this, because I'm in a good position to keep things simple, if that makes sense. So, have you guys ever heard of neuroplasticity?
Why don't you explain this to me like I am an 8-year-old?
Sure. So imagine that your brain is like a big, thick forest, okay? In this forest, there's lots of little trails and paths going around. They cross each other. They're like a network of paths all around your brain. When you're trying to learn a new skill, like riding a bike, playing the guitar, whatever, That's you walking a new trail for the first time. At first, it's going to be a bumpy road because, you've never walked that trail before. It's full of rocks, it's uneven, there's weeds on it. You get the point. But the more times you do it, the easier it becomes to walk that path.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Woo.
Okay? So basically, neuroplasticity is your brain's capacity to create new roads and to strengthen the older ones. Why is this important? Because when it comes to your mental diet, where your goal is to reject negative thoughts and to reinforce the positive ones, neuroplasticity is what allows you to improve on your practice. The more negative thoughts you reject, the weaker your negative paths become. And the more positive thoughts you entertain, the stronger your positive paths become. If you keep practicing, before you know it, then all your trails are helpful, good ones. There are no dark trails anymore. Now, why is this important? I'm not saying anything new here. Lots of people are talking about neuroplasticity. It's because we used to believe that, after a certain age, our brains are defined. We are who we are and we can no longer change. Well, neuroplasticity says the opposite. Obviously, you have different amounts of neuroplasticity throughout your lifetime. As we grow older, those amounts decrease naturally, but you never lose it. You're always capable of forming new connections. And that is very important because it's sort of, it cancels the argument of I cannot control my thoughts and I cannot change the way I think now. I'm too old for that shit. You're not. You just need to put it a little more effort. And here's how I like to think about it. I like to think of it as when I'm catching negative thoughts, it feels a little bit like I'm pulling out the weeds. It's like, lots of crap going on around in my forest. I'm gonna clean some shit up. But when I'm reinforcing my positive thoughts, it feels like I'm watering my plants. I'm tending to my inner garden. So if you think about it, practicing your mental diet is a little bit like gardening. No, but seriously, guys, from a chemical point of view, it's no secret that good thoughts produce feel-good hormones in the body, like serotonin, or what is the other one called? Dopamine. Like, we know this. While, negative thoughts trigger stress hormones like cortisol, a very close friend of mine. This is my trick for increasing the feel-good hormones and fighting cortisol. So when it comes to doing a mental diet, if you're in your forest, a mental diet is like a sign somewhere that says, okay, you can walk these trails, but these are out of touch. You shouldn't go there because they're dangerous. They're harmful. This is why a mental diet is so powerful. It serves as a guide for you to find the right direction towards the feel-good hormones. I just thought of this. I'm so proud of myself. Next concept. Have you guys ever heard of the reticular activating system?
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
All right, now imagine that your brain is like a big, busy nightclub. So many people queuing, waiting to get inside, okay? Your reticular activating system is your club's bouncer. It's a little guy at the door, or girl, at the door deciding who's gonna go in and who's gonna stay out. Basically, who is important enough to go in and who is not important enough. So they just, get the door. In Greek, we used to say when we were kids, it was like, I ate a door. That meant that you went to the club, like literal translation is the best I can give you. I went to the club and I ate the door. Basically, yeah, they didn't let me in. It was so funny because we were underage trying to get into clubs. But anyways. So basically, your reticular activating system decides which kind of information is important for you to know and which isn't important enough. And it keeps it out. Like, you know, when someone calls your name or there's a loud banging sound, explosion, whatever happened next to you, then your reticular activating system lets that in immediately because it's important. You need to be aware of it. But if there's like a little humming noise in the background or a little buzzing sound from a machine, whatever, and you're in deep focus mode, then it won't pay attention to those things because it's something that's going to distract you from your focus time. So your reticular activating system sits between your senses and your brain, basically. Remember how we discussed that your senses are like what you use to collect data from your surroundings, and then you interpret that data, you assign meaning to them, and that's how you get to understand your world and the environment you operate in. Well, your reticular activating system comes in between these things. It's what helps you do that. It's what filters out the sort of data you receive. Why is this important? Because when you're doing a mental diet, you choose to focus on the good stuff, right? You choose to entertain the thoughts that make you feel good about yourself or a certain objective you want to achieve. And what does that mean? That means that you make those kind of thoughts important to you. So what is your reticular activating system going to do? Is going to find more of those things in your surroundings. It's going to start letting in more of that. So you're going to start noticing more things working in your favor, more opportunities to achieve the things you want to achieve because you've made them important. So you start paying attention to them. You start letting them in while keeping the others at bay. It's like when you decide that you want a particular car, then you start seeing that car everywhere. No, it's not that everyone just went out and bought the same car. It's just that you've made that car important in your head. So your reticular activating system is letting more signs of that car into your awareness, basically. So when you combine that, when you use it right with your mental diet, if you practice focusing on the good stuff, then your reticular activating system is like a little helper that's going to help you find more good stuff in life. That's what's going to help you become, you know, like a lucky person. You're going to be lucky. You're going to see more opportunities. You're going to be at the right place at the right time. There's no magic in it. It's just you strengthening the muscle of finding the good things for you. And remember how we're discussing that, you know, you can go on a specific mental diet to achieve a specific objective, and how you entertain the thoughts that help you reach the goal, while you reject all the thoughts that make you think that your goal is not achievable. Well, your reticular activating system is exactly what's going to help you do that, because what it does is basically you make that goal important to you exactly the same way. You make that goal important in your head, so it's gonna try and find more opportunities, more ways, more information for you to make that goal happen, more things relating to that particular topic. That's how you shape your reality, using your thoughts. You shed light on the things that matter to you, and you keep everything that doesn't outside, because that's information that you don't need. That's clutter. That's weed. That's trash. Enough neuroscience, even though I love talking about neuroscience, you know. Maybe in my next life, I'll become a neuroscientist. Okay. There's so many more concepts I could start mentioning here, like, you know, cognitive behavioral therapy, or the bystander effect, or self-fulfilling prophecies. Like, so many concepts that we can discuss about how thoughts create reality, blah, 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 blah. But I'll stop here because, you know, right now I'm in a pick your battles kind of situation. If you'd like me to go deeper, because honestly, I love this, but it takes time. So if you'd like me to go deeper and give you more facts, all you have to do is support my channel and give me the means to do that, because, you know, there's nothing I love more than proving people wrong. I want you to realize something. Science does not precede existence. Science did not exist before we did, before the universe did. Science is something we invented. It's something that we humans, one of the many, many species of this universe, created to interpret and express what goes on around us. It's a universal language that we've developed to understand the natural phenomena happening all around us. And then to use that same language to tell other people about them, to help other people understand what they mean. So I have this conversation with lots of my friends because, with the background that I have, you probably guessed it, I am surrounded by lots of science people. And we always have this discussion, and I always see that it turns around the same thing. Yeah, I'm a facts guy. I need to see the facts before I can believe in anything, you know? Sure, but why? Just because we haven't found the right way to express a particular phenomenon yet, I mean, using scientific terms, that doesn't mean that that phenomenon is not real. Does not mean that it's not happening. We just don't have the words for it yet. We just haven't found the right way to go about it yet. You know, like apples fell from trees way before one of them hit Isaac Newton on the head. I know that story is not entirely true, but it helps me convey the message. So, you know, just let me have it. Okay? So, you, my skeptic friend, it feels like I'm talking to myself in the past, like a past version of myself. This is so fucking cool. I love it. Yeah, this is kind of the kind of discussion you can have with me on a daily. Like, we can go for coffee and I'm gonna be like, oh wow, I feel like, you know, yeah, there's me and then there's another me and then we're sitting in a different dimension right now, and you could, you know, all these lifelines and these multiple real. The next time you're about to judge someone for believing in the unseen or the unknown, the unproven, is that a word or is it like non-proven? The next time you're ready to play smarty pants to someone who doesn't need the facts before they can believe in something, I want you to remember that you know nothing about this world.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
One of my favorite lines ever, like so simple, full of meaning, very humbling. But yeah, I want you to remember that you actually know nothing about this world. There's so much that we don't know. There's so much that we will never know. So who are you to judge someone because what they believe in is not backed by science? How, like, what gives you the right? You know why this is very important? Because I used to think that, you know, people that believe in fairy tales are just less smart than science people. We, the people that understand science, are just, you know, we're just smarter. That's why we can tell what's true and what's not. But the truth is that the people that dare to believe in things that they've never seen or that haven't been proven are actually braver than we are. They're braver. They dare to jump into things, to believe stories, ideas that don't need validation from other people. They don't need support. They don't need the facts. Because here's the thing, faith is not believing in some dude sitting up in the clouds, you know, blessing some people and cursing some others. That's not what faith is. faith means to believe, to dare to believe in things without needing to see the proof. Faith means to realize that there's so much more to this world that you could ever comprehend, and to be okay with believing it anyways. Faith is to dare to believe in something without needing to see the proof. And you also have to realize that at the end of the day, you're making a choice. You're making a choice. How would you rather spend your life? How would you rather spend your time, this limited time that you have on earth? How would you rather move throughout your life? Would you rather live a life where you think that have everything figured out, you know everything there is to know, more or less, and surprise, it all fucking sucks. It's all wars, money, greed, pain, suffering, injustice, climate change, disasters, whatever, and there's absolutely no hope? Or would you rather dare to believe that there is more? There must be a bigger meaning in all of this. I might not see it. I might not be able to get the full picture. I might not have the words to express what this is. But as long as it exists, I'm happy. As long as I know there's more, that's enough for me. I don't need to understand it to believe in it. The mere fact that it exists, the mere fact that, I don't know shit. I'm just a tiny little human trying to make sense of this entire universe. And I'll never be able to do it completely, but that's the beauty of it. And I'm happy to be where I am right now. And I'm gonna go as far as I can, but I'm not gonna judge others in the process. Isn't it so much more hopeful, so much more inspiring to spend your life on earth thinking like this than just giving up and saying, yeah, this is all there is, this is what science tells us, and there's nothing more than that? Even though also science is catching up on a lot of these things, a lot of these things. The only thing you risk by embracing the magic in life is that some of the people some of the limited thinking beings that surround you, they might call you crazy. They might think you're a bit delusional. Who the fuck cares? I think that's a very small price to pay for a life filled with wonder, as opposed to a life of, this is all there is, we're all miserable, we come to earth and then we die. The end. I want to leave you with the last piece of advice, which is what I always advise myself. It's a big principle of mine in life, and is what I also just tell other people around me to do. When it comes to a particular concept or idea or advice you might, including this one, you might receive from someone, don't take anyone's word for anything. Just don't do it, especially when it comes to spiritual topics. No one is ever going to be qualified enough to explain these things to you. What I would advise you to do is to keep an open mind. Don't judge the ideas you might receive. You receive ideas, information for a reason. If you think this is just by chance, it's not. You receive information for a reason. Choose what you're going to do with it wisely. All you have to do is try and see for yourself. Just try. Just give it a try. Isn't it wonderful that we can just try new things and then decide? It's like when it comes to food, I have friends who are like, yeah, I don't like this food. I'm like, how do you know? Have you ever had it before? Yeah, I ate it once when I was like 4, and I don't like it. Like, yo, you're almost 30. What the fuck? Like, There's also things I didn't used to like as a kid, but you know, I like them now, so just try it. No, I don't want to try it. How miserable is that? What a sad life is to live like that. Never wanting to try anything new. Well, take it to the next step. It's not just about food or new clothes or going to a new country or trying a new hobby or whatever new is. It's also about trying new ways to think, new things to believe in. And that is the most exciting part of life. So, if you're skeptical about spirituality, I invite you to be skeptical about being skeptical about spirituality. So, I'm gonna leave you to it. I think I've said enough. If you'd like me to, you know, bash you some more, let me know, because there's nothing I like more than some good, like some positive, you know, sort of tension. Some positive, like, I'm right. No, you're wrong. No, I'm right. But like, keep it fun, okay? Okay. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. And yeah, speak to you soon.